I am Savvy Mike, and this is Savvy Reviews. And well, this is my official movie review for the latest movie to come out this weekend, that being Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Now, I do believe there was a Bob Odenkirk movie that came out, along with a movie called Mother Mary with Anne Hathaway, directed by Michaela Cole. I believe that's her name. I believe I'm getting that right. Hopefully she's in it as well. And I really wanted to see that, but it wasn't at the theater that is near me. So I'm gonna watch that movie. We're gonna support black artists and black films over here. So I'm gonna make sure I go watch Mother Mary next weekend, while also getting y'all a review of the new Michael Jackson movie. But enough of all of that, of what's to come in the future. Let's talk about what's here now in our present, and that being this new Lee Cronin's Mummy movie. First things first, I guess, make this clear: Brendan Fraser is not in this movie, nor is Tom Cruise. There's been a few renditions of this Mummy story, and while the Mummy is a part of the monster verse that Frankenstein and that type of thing that Universal had a hold of, but I think Blumhouse now has the rights to. So this is them doing their Mummy. I think they have an Invincible Man movie coming out soon. The Invincible Man movie that came out a few years ago was pretty cool. That wasn't a bad movie at all. But regardless of it, I guess this is the start to their tellings of the monster story. And who else other than Lee Cronin? Now, Lee Cronin, I haven't watched many of his movies or films, but something tells me he's very much so inspired by Sam Raimi in a lot of ways. This is basically a body horror film. While it definitely has tenseness and is definitely scary and a lot of nightmare fuel in this for sure, it more so came off as a body horror in a lot of ways in a lot of the scenes. And if you don't know what the premise is, basically what happens is our main character, our main guy, I just looked it up on IMDb, I don't remember his name, but he's a journalist and a news reporter, and so they're out in Egypt, and Katie has been making friends with some people that she shouldn't be making friends with, and at some point, they get her and make her a mummy. And so they think that their kid has been kidnapped and is lost and gone, and hopefully one day they'll find out whether she's dead or alive. And so 8 years go by, and they come to find out that they found her body. She's still alive, but yeah, she's a mummy now. And then we get our Mummy movie. That's really more so Evil Dead meets The Exorcist. That's what I was getting out of this, and it was pretty cool. I guess it does in a sense turn into like a haunted house film by the end of it. Like it kind of loses the whole mummy vibe and gets into like basically a demon terrorizing his family, and it was pretty paint by numbers in that, but I like the way that it ended. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna spoil it here because the movie's not bad. I did enjoy it, and again, the good things that I liked about it. First off, the acting was well done. Like I said, I didn't recognize most of the people that were there, but they did pretty well. The chick that played Katie, the child that played Katie, she did really well. The mom and the dad, they had good chemistry, and they acted out their scenes really well. Definitely felt the substance coming from those two. And the woman that played the investigator, the cop, basically looking into all of this and what's going on with everything, with what happened to Katie, and I thought that was pretty cool. And the fact that the dad was a news reporter, journalist, but also an investigator too, so he was trying to figure out what happened to her as well. While the mom, she just wanted to nurture her child back to health, so she was just being a mother. I fucked with all the dynamics. I think Lee Cronin wrote these characters at least well enough for a horror film. Usually don't get much depth out of your characters in a horror film, but these characters were pretty well written, so I'll give them that. And then directing was really well done, speaking of Lee Cronin, and like I said, it has a lot of body horror aspects to it in a lot of ways. It's definitely a body horror film for most of it, and then it gets into some more gross shit and then you're just like, yeah, he's just grossing me out right now. Definitely felt like Evil Dead in a lot of ways. So I don't know if he was going for that vibe or not, but that's definitely how it came across. But yeah, the story was well written. I love the investigative aspect of it. Definitely kept me locked into it. Like, I was enjoying watching this movie for the runtime that I was watching it, and the sound design was really well done. Like, this is a movie you watch with the surround sound, speakers turned all the way up. Yeah, they did really great job on the sound design with this one. And like, you felt it felt like I was listening to ASMR in certain points, especially when you get into like some Morse code stuff. Pretty cool. I wasn't mad at it. Like, definitely really well. It felt like they really paid attention to every detail in making this movie. So shout out to them for effort. Love effort. Now, some of the bad things, it is about 20 minutes too long. You know, it's definitely some stuff you could shave off of this, some scenes you could shave off of, some things that really don't matter to the aspect of the story and everything that's going on, especially to how it ties in at the end. So it was definitely, it was 2 hours and 14 minutes. So I'm like, there needs to be a reason for this mummy movie to be 2 hours and 14 minutes. And honestly, couldn't find one. like it was enjoyable enough. I was locked in for it, but it didn't have to be 2 hours and 14 minutes. It wasn't that deep. I was thinking about to get this deep introspective movie. We was about to get into some layers and things. And while at a certain point, sure, it stays about as surface level as Evil Dead meets The Exorcist meets The Mummy can get. That's about as surface level as that could get. It doesn't really really get into everything. So 2 hours and 14 minutes was stretch. We were definitely stretching it. This movie could have been an hour 45. That is a fact. Either way, definitely got a bit cartoony as well. It was some moments in here where it felt like a joke, like it was a joke that was happening, and it was meant for the audience to laugh, and nobody was laughing. I was in the theater with some people. They did not laugh. I didn't laugh neither. So it felt like it was a lot of comedy relief stuff he was trying to do in this that just really fell flat to me and didn't necessarily work. It didn't mesh well with the film at all. And so yeah, I would say he could have kept that out of it, but I guess it added more character to this mummy figure that is basically terrorizing this family at the moment. So I get it, but at the same time, it really wasn't as poignant, or it was just jarring. It was like, what is this? What am I watching? Is this a cartoon at this point? Like, what are we? Like, this is very fucking, like, I'm grossed out in the seat. I do not want to laugh right now. I done seen some nasty work on the screen. But yeah, other than that, pretty enjoyable film overall. I'm not gonna lie. While I don't see myself wanting to watch, like, locking in for 2 hours and 14 minutes to watch Lee Cronin's The Mummy, I don't think I would, want to do that anytime soon. If somebody was interested in watching it, like a group of friends were interested in watching this mummy movie, like, yeah, we didn't see it, but we really want to watch it, and you watched it, you should watch it with us. I'd be like, sure, fuck it. It wasn't bad. Like, it wasn't so egregious that I would go, let me think about this. No, I'd be like, cut it on. Why not? But other than that, it's not something that I'm itching to go right back to. You feel me? So, yeah, pretty enjoyable overall. I liked it enough. Definitely some nightmare fuel for a nigga to think about while he's trying to go to sleep. Thank God I mostly sleep during the day. Shout out to that, I guess. Anyways, 3 out of 5 sass from me. Definitely gets the fire stamp, positive rating, regardless of it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, I'm Savvy Mike, and this is Savvy Reviews. Peace.